is a reading for Libra, Libra Sun, Libra Ascendant, and Libra Moon. This reading is a general reading. It will not apply to everybody. If it does not fit, don't try to make it fit. Check out the readings for the other signs that are predominantly in your birth chart. I don't know if you've been feeling a heavy energy lately, but I have Libra in my chart, and lately I have been very tired and exhausted, and I've just been needing to rest. But as I'm resting, I feel like I've been falling behind. But sometimes we need to rest as well. So Libra, Sun, Moon Ascendant, the month of June. Okay. So Libra, your first card is the Two of Swords in reverse. Your second card is the Ten of Swords in the upright. Your third card is the Lovers in reverse. Your fourth card is the Six of Pentacles. Card number 7 is the Four of Cups. We also have the Page of Swords in reverse. And finally, you have the Two of Cups. And your underlying energy for this month is the Page of Wands in reverse, which is a card that I keep seeing for my readings as well as for Libra readings. Did I say Page of Swords? It's Page of Wands in reverse. You can see here. Okay. So right away we have an ending. We have the Lovers in reverse. You have the Two of Cups. This is definitely a love reading. We have the Six of Pentacles, which always represents balance to me. Again, there's 3 characters on this card. So you have multiple characters within this reading. The Lovers in reverse could be an ending with your twin flame or your soulmate, considering that it's beside the Ten of Swords. The Page of Wands in reverse. You're not feeling passionate about undertaking this relationship. You're possibly feeling worn out. If there was a naivety initially regarding this person, your loved one, your partner, you're probably not feeling so naive anymore. In fact, you're probably feeling a little bit guarded. Okay, let's get some more information on the Lovers in reverse. If you hear a thunderstorm in the background, I'm sorry, I just started. The Lovers in reverse. So Libra, you have the Three of Cups. You have the Nine of Pentacles. And you have the Four of Cups in reverse. 3 and 4. This could have been a third party situation. In which it didn't lead to bounce, and there was a time to move forward, make decisions. It stayed unbalanced with the Four of Cups in reverse. I would also like to know, so you actually have the Four of Cups in reverse twice as well. You have it right here, clarifying the Lovers, and you also have it right here as well. So let's clarify the Four of Cups in reverse. The one that's down here. Ace of Pentacles. High Priestess in reverse. And you have the World in reverse. So I'm just going to move the camera so that you can see these cards and get a better picture of what they look like all together. So this month in June, the end of June and the beginning of June seem somewhat different. You have the Lovers in reverse at the top, And you have the Two of Cups at the bottom, which represents the end of June. You have the Four of Cups, both in reverse twice. The Four of Cups in the upright, it signifies the universe offering you a cup of love, offering you an opportunity, offering you a soulmate. With it being in the reverse, there's more uncertainty. Divine intervention isn't necessarily at play. This could be an ending of a relationship that once seemed divinely guided. At the beginning of the month, you're feeling somewhat tied to the situation, bound by it, finding it difficult to move forward, finding it difficult to see clearly. But at the same time, you are wary. You're very wary. You're wary of the situation, of this person, of love in the future. It's a painful ending for you. The relationship was not so clear in the first place with the Three of Cups. Maybe there's too many people in the relationship. With the Nine of Pentacles, maybe other things got in the way. Maybe work or money got in the way. More practical matters. You also have the Six of Pentacles, so you're attempting to find balance in the month of June, which is a good position to be in. You still have the Four of Cups in reverse towards the end of the month, towards the middle to the end of the month, which means you might be feeling somewhat stubborn. Maybe you don't want to move forward in romantic relationships. You need to take a break from worrying about the situation. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You might be trying to forget the situation. Not so much mourn. You're trying not to mourn it. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to consider other possibilities. Maybe you'll get something that turns your thoughts more, again, towards practical matters. You're paying attention to other areas of your life. With the World in reverse, it seems that maybe this relationship, you really wanted it to work out, and it seems like it would work out. And it's confusing that it stopped. It's confusing that it didn't move forward when it seemed like it should have. And with the High Priestess in reverse, you are feeling somewhat abandoned by the situation, like the world abandoned it. You didn't abandon it. Maybe the other person kind of abandoned it, but it didn't work out for reasons that seemed unimportant. With this High Priestess and the Two of Swords in reverse, it's difficult for you to see a way forward. At this point, with this much confusion, it might be difficult for you to even consider the situation anymore. You don't feel internally guided towards understanding the situation. It still has a pull on you, but internally, you are somewhat mentally conflicted about this, even if you are trying to move forward and forget about it. The Page of Swords in reverse, perhaps you used to be defensive. but now you put down your sword and you've somewhat given up on the situation. But at the very end of this month, we have the Two of Cups. Is this new love? Or is this different love? To me, the Lovers and the Two of Cups are very similar cards. So let's try to understand the Two of Cups. Let's get a clarifier. The Two of Cups. We have the Six of Pentacles, again, and we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So it seems that even though there's a lot of unbalance, discord, and confusion regarding this love situation for the month of June, and this wasn't supposed to be necessarily a love reading, but ended up being a love reading, it seems like you are eventually finding balance. You're finding it difficult, and perhaps you're not finding balance anymore by going within and using your intuition. You're finding balance by the slow, methodical planning of simply moving on with your life and attempting to forget things in the past. With the Knight of Cups in reverse, you might be hitting a point towards the end of the month where you find balance, but not with someone, not with them in unison, but reflecting on the memories of the past, reflecting on the love that you shared. If this Knight was in upright, this would be a re-emerging of this love relationship. If the Knight of Cups was upright, this would be you two offering each other cups. But because it is in the reverse, your person, Libra, is not outright rekindling the situation, but you are seeing the situation with better perspective. You're still able to emotionally connect with this person and view what you had together in a positive light, which I think is actually bringing you a lot of comfort. You realize that it's somewhat over, but this realization that things did not work out the way maybe they were, I don't want to say should have, but could have, the way they could have. You're realizing that even though things didn't work out the way they could have, you can still draw joy from what happened. You can leave the negativity in the past, and you can leave the influence this person has on you in the past. But you can still appreciate the past. Doesn't mean it was worthless. So let's find another card. For the end of June and beginning of July. What energy will you take with you as you go into the month of July? And what is the result of this month for you? What's the result for Libra? Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Ascendant, for the end of June and beginning of July. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So you have the Ace twice, you have the Ace in the upright, and then you have the Ace in reverse. The result is that this relationship doesn't go through. You will be feeling sad that it's over. There is still other things occupying your mind. It's almost like you look at what you have that you could still give them. And you look at it and you want to offer it to them. But for whatever reason, you know you can't. But it still brings you joy. You still have things to offer them, but for some reason you can't. Just quite sad, Libra. Yeah, so this Ace of Pentacles is in the reverse. Your reading is an interesting mix of a mind state in which you have a practicality about you. You've had an ending here with this person. It just didn't quite measure up. It was the Nine of Pentacles, but never became the Ten of Pentacles. And so you're seeking balance. You haven't let it taken you down, however. You've been healing. There's a limit to how much you can heal right now in this month with the High Priestess in reverse. However, you're not letting it completely... You can't forget it completely. Of course you can't. It's okay to not forget things completely. The Six of Pentacles again. You're seeking to go away from defensiveness. For whatever negative effects this relationship may have caused for you, I think you're trying to move away from that negativity. You don't quite understand it anymore. You can't understand it anymore. And you're not going to try. Instead, you're going to try to seek balance, and you still have something to offer, but you're realizing maybe it just won't be for this person. Maybe it will be for someone else. Which is an optimistic perspective. Here you are again. You realize you have something to offer, regardless of whether or not this person that you've had an ending with is involved in it. It seems like the world is not on this relationship's side anymore. Maybe it was once, but it isn't anymore. Maybe it will be one day, but I think for the foreseeable immediate future, it's not. You have the Five of Pentacles. So it is a loss. What is the final outcome of this situation? Of this love relationship, what is the outcome? What I would like is a card that says Libra will move on quickly, but of course things don't happen like that, right? It takes time. If you get a reading like this, it takes time. It might take the month, but there's still a shift towards balance. There's a shift towards everything. I don't think you're being stagnant at all. You've just realized you have so much love to offer, and that this isn't the place to offer it. You've had one sword too many shoved into your back, and you are not going to attempt to give it to another person. End of this. The general end of the situation. For the end of the situation, you have the Nine of Swords, the Devil reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed. Again, underneath that you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is going to be with you for a little bit. So you're going to be having that Nine of Swords moments when you're mentally exhausted, fighting your way through the situation, attempting to rest, but sometimes it won't let you rest. There's been an ending, but you keep going back. You can't quite forget it. But the Devil is also in reverse, so you're moving away from toxicity. And this Knight of Cups is in the reverse, so this is the same character we saw before. Same as this card right here that was clarifying the Two of Cups. Both in reverse. So the best I can say is that, despite the fact that this is a bit of a heavy reading, try to focus on the good. You don't have to go inward anymore. Maybe this isn't the right time for that, to go inward. Maybe it's an important time to actually because Libras can, of course, when they go inward, it's hard for them to trust intuition. Sometimes they want logical reasons, and sometimes they don't get logical reasons for why things ended or how things ended, and they can kind of torment themselves going through things. So actually, sometimes going inward for a Libra isn't the best thing. It is in many situations, but if you've been going back and forth with this Two of Swords in the reverse, you might be attempting to make a decision, attempting to come out of that. Attempting to experience life again without letting this jade you too much. So yeah, so the best I can say is that work towards your balance, work towards these Six of Pentacles. You can still believe in love, and I think you're starting to realize that with the Two of Cups. And focus on yourself for a bit. Yourself and other people, just not this person that occasionally comes up in your mind too often. This person has nothing to give you. They might not be at that stage of their life where they can give love to someone else. Alright, well I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a good June and July. And hopefully this situation does bounce out and you begin to feel some relief from it. I will see you in July with the next reading, and thank you very much for watching.